Hey lovebirds, welcome back! Okay, I know I usually say lovebirds, but today we're actually going to be talking to my brides-to-be. We're going to be talking about which bride are you? And we're only discussing two different brides today. The first one is the one who's been planning her entire life for her wedding, before she was even proposed to or even knew her fiancé. The second bride that we're going to be talking about is the one who didn't plan at all her entire life. She didn't have the wedding album book with like all of the Pinterest board inspo pics and drawings and little notes to herself about what she wanted the venue to look like and what she wanted her dress to look like and what she wanted her guy to look like. Okay, maybe not what her guy to look like, but you get what I'm saying. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the one who they totally focused on that. That's the bride who planned her entire life for her wedding. And then we're talking about the bride-to-be who didn't. You guys, this is going to be a really, really good one. We're going to look at three aspects of these two brides. And the first aspect is the wedding planning approach itself. We're looking at the emotional experience. And then we're also going to be looking at the overall vibe on the wedding day. Wedding planning approach itself. This first bride, you know who you are. You have your wedding planning album that you have been visioning. You have like this amazing vision board that you have, or you have like this album that you've walked around with, a folder. Sometimes I see like people with a folder or like a notebook, like the wire notebook. And you've been collecting ideas for many, 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 many years. You have a clear vision of exactly what you want your venue to look like, your dress to look like, down to the exact detail, like how many pearls you want on it, how many sparkly jewels you want on it, where you want the sparkly jewels, the type of shoes that you're going to wear. I mean, you are really, really detailed, and you have already known that you're going to get married at some point, so why not start planning as early as possible? And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that there's something extremely beautiful about someone who's taking their wedding so seriously, is to start planning it their entire life before they're even proposed to. So, you have a clear vision. You also know that because you have a clear vision, you had to build that vision board along the way. And that vision board could be a lot of different things. It could be, like I said, a notebook or a wedding album that you already started. It could also be the fact that you were on Pinterest or Instagram collecting inspo pics or even like short video clips of what you wanted your day to look like when it was time for it to be your day. Now, when it comes to your Instagram and your Pinterest boards and all these good things, you also are the type of bride that has decided you wanted to wear like a specific piece of jewelry. Maybe your grandmother left it behind before she passed away, and you knew that you were going to want to wear that jewelry. So you've incorporated that jewelry into the wedding. It has sentimental value to you, so it's a sentimental element that you've decided there's no way you're going to not have this as part of your wedding. Now, sentimental elements can look different for everyone. It doesn't just have to be a piece of jewelry. It could be a napkin or maybe like a piece of garment, maybe like your mom's dress. You didn't want to wear her dress, but then maybe you have like a piece of the lace that you wanted to incorporate inside of your like bouquet handle. So beautiful. On like the stem of your bouquet as you walk down the aisle. So beautiful. But yes, you're the type of bride that has been thinking about this for an extremely long time, and you don't want things to go wrong. But this also means that you are susceptible to feeling a lot of pressure on your actual wedding day. You want things to come to life. You want your dream to come true. So you may not be able to handle the pressure of a wedding. It's a really, really big event. But take a deep breath. I'm here to help. Talk about the bride who didn't plan her wedding beforehand, before her wedding proposal. She didn't plan anything at all. Her wedding planning approach is going to look quite different. She is going to be more spontaneous, and she may even be okay and open to advice from people like her family, her friends, the professionals like wedding planners or the videographers, photographers, the florist, you name it. All the things that bride number one had already planned out and knows exactly what she wants. She doesn't really want the advice from others in most cases. But when we have bride number two, she is more open to having advice from other people about her wedding day itself. She also is open to like her vision, like since she didn't have a vision, she's open to hearing like what other people kind of think the wedding should look like, which could be kind of cool too in itself. I could see that like somebody who's just like, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to start. I see lots of brides like that actually, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, you poor thing. Like, I mean, I understand that's why wedding planners have their job and make the huge bucks, is because, like, there's a lot of people out there who just really don't know what to do when it comes to planning a wedding. It's a huge, huge party. And so, bride number two is open to, like, hearing some ideas. They're also open to things like trends and, things that are exciting and new in the industry, like a content creator, like having a wedding content creator at your wedding, which, as you guys know, that's what I do. And I get very excited when people are considering having a wedding content creator at their wedding, because if you are the first bride, you may not have thought about this because wedding content creation is something new and innovative and it's trendy, Well, let's hope that it's not too trendy. I know that it's had a title for at least 2 years, but us wedding content creators and content creators in general have been around for a super long time, way longer than we had the title. We've been creating, and we won't get too far into that rabbit trail, but yes, this bride number two is just more open to wedding planning itself and how it's supposed to look or how it can look. She's not so like, okay, it has to be this way or else, which is more like how bride number one is going to feel about her wedding day. She had a vision, she wants things to go accordingly. Attribute number two. This is going to be personality and attitude during the planning process for your wedding. Bride number one, we're going to talk about you first. So, this is our bride. You are the one that has been planning your wedding your entire life. And your attitude and, your posture about during the wedding planning process is going to probably look something like this, or it did look something like this if you're already married, if you're not a bride-to-be. But you are the type of person that you are going to be very controlling, very detail-oriented, because you have a vision for your wedding. You feel like you need to take control over what's going on. You want to be the one to really be planning it. You probably don't even want much help from the wedding planners themselves. You just want to do it yourself. You don't think that they can make the vision come, to life how you want it. And if you did allow a wedding planner to do it, you probably are going to be looking over their shoulder for like every single detail to make sure that they are getting it right. Now, because you are detail-oriented and controlling, you're also more prone to be stressed out because you want that vision to come to life so bad. You have thought about this your entire life, like we've said, and so you are just not going to let up. You're not going to let up. You don't want things to go wrong. It's got to go the way that you want it, and down to every little detail, the amount of flowers that are there. You're going to be probably even counting the flowers when you go to the wedding itself to make sure that they actually gave you the right amount of flowers that they were supposed to. And for that one, I don't really blame you, I must say. I mean, it's your wedding. You and your husband-to-be, your groom, you guys are the ones that are getting married, and you want it to be how you want it to be. And so I don't really blame you for wanting it to look and feel a certain way. Bride number two, your demeanor and personality is a lot more relaxed during the wedding planning process. You are kind of like go with the flow, and listening to everyone's opinions and ideas, but not letting it like get to you. You'll do what you're going to do or not do, but you are just not taking it so like it's like super crucial, right? And yes, you're getting married and you're very excited about that, but you aren't so like sweating the little details. You're more focused on like family and love and celebrating love, and you're just happy. You're just so happy, and like it's finally happening in your life, but like you didn't, harp on it and think about it a lot. So that means that you have few or probably not even any expectations of what your wedding day is supposed to look like. I know that there are people who go to weddings and like they look at every single little thing at a wedding and they're just like, I want this, I want this, I want this, I don't want that. That was not for me. And, there's something to be said about a bride, right? That can walk into a wedding and constantly be thinking that the whole time. But you are not that bride. You are the bride that is going to be relaxed. And if you were to attend someone else's wedding, you're just there for them. You're there for the love and the joy and the happiness that you guys are all sharing in that wedding day. And you're bringing that same attitude, that same energy, that same composure to your wedding day. Now we have made it to the day of the wedding, and this is going to be your attitude. Bride number one, who has been planning her entire life for her wedding. You are going to have these extreme emotions, either extreme joy or extreme disappointment. It's just going to depend on how that wedding turned out according to your vision. And if it didn't turn out according to your vision, you're definitely going to be freaking out. Okay? So you're going to be like thinking, why did they put the vase here when I wanted them to put the vase there? Why is it that we couldn't have these type of flowers even though we paid for those type of flowers and they gave us a different type of flower? You're going to be thinking about all these things. And so since everything needed to go to your perfection in order for you to be assured and to be confident, which could happen. If everything goes according to plan, you definitely could feel like this is perfect, this is great, and that's where that extreme joy comes into play because everything went according to how you visioned it. But if it doesn't go like that, and you notice some of these small hiccups or someone who was supposed to come to the wedding and didn't and they canceled on the night before, because yes, it does happen, and people will call the bride, and I don't understand why they do that. They should call somebody else on the night before because that is very stressful. But yes, if you are a perfectionist in this and you're looking for this to be, you're viewing your wedding as your lifelong dream, then yes, these things could happen to you on the day of your wedding. But I just want you to know, things are never going to be perfect. There's no event that is perfect out there. There just isn't. Even if somebody tells you that it was a perfect event, they are lying to you. There are no perfect events. Something always goes wild, crazy, and it's just how you're going to deal with the wild and the crazy. Now, bride number two, who did not plan her wedding her entire life, you are going to be, as you guessed it, more relaxed, and you have a confidence and a happiness and a joy about the day because you just aren't going to let little things like get you down. If something did go wrong, like maybe the napkins showed up and they were the wrong size, let's hope they don't have the wrong monogram on them, but you're the kind of person that's going to look at these type of things and turn it into a positive, right? You are not going to be so worried about these imperfections. You're going to probably see them as like a charm, something that's like super cute, like look at that, maybe your initials were P and X, and for some reason they sent you napkins that said like XR or something. So then you go around telling everybody, hey, X-ray us. Like, I don't know. Something ridiculous. But that's the kind of bride that you are. You turn these kind of imperfections into like a positive, a charm. Things go awry, and like you understand that. So you're gonna be able to take everything in a little bit better, like the emotions of the day, and to really be able to feel the day rather than it being like this big, huge event that overcomes you. That's how bride number one could be. Not to say that you are that bride number one, because you just don't know until that day comes, but there are ways that you can try and to cope, and so that you will have a more relaxed wedding day. The lifelong bride, this is our overview, you guys. The lifelong bride, she may seem very poised, elegant, and precise, but deep down, if any kind of wild stresses come her way, she is going to be frantic, and she is going to be a ball of nerves, very, very anxious about her wedding day. The spontaneous bride brings a sense of, obviously spontaneity. She's fun-loving, she is carefree, and she's living in the moment. She's just excited to be here. And she's also going to be able to allow herself to really feel the emotions of this day. So which bride are you? Are you bride number one, who's been planning her entire life? Or are you bride number two, who is just like, you know what? I've never done anything like this. I've never thought about planning my wedding, and I'm just excited to be here. And whatever you guys want to do, I'm pretty much open to that. Both brides are beautiful. Know that, you guys. Both of them are very, very special. But I'd like to know, which bride are you, or which bride do you think you're going to be? Have you ever seen any of these type of brides for either of these two? Now listen, I know that there are different brides. They don't just fall into category 1 or category 2 that we've talked about on this video. There are also brides who are just, as soon as they get engaged, they are just so excited to be engaged, and they are now ready to plan a wedding, and they've never thought about planning it before, and they are excited to do so and not just give all the reins to somebody. So maybe you're that bride. We're going to talk about some aspects of that bride on the next episode, so make sure that you are subscribed. And
lights, camera, action, baby, strike a pose. Phones and cameras out, just watch it all unfold. We're the stars of the show, ain't no need for filters. Living life through the lens, capturing our breath. Put away your phones and cameras, let the good times roll. Our content creators got it all under control. From weddings to events, parties, travel and brands, we're living the paparazzi life. It's all in our hands.
Lights, camera, action, we're ready to go. We're professionals, don't you already know? From TikTok to Instagram, we're taking the lead. Content creator, we're planting seed. Get ready for the social media explosion.